It's a true honor to have once again been chosen to represent my peers, especially on an occasion as august as this. Whether you're receiving your bachelor's or master's, whether it took you 2 years or 20, whether you're the 50th in your family to graduate college, or like me, the first, I know that each person in this group has poured their blood, sweat, and tears, and often more, into obtaining their degrees. Even if it's so often felt impossible, we are now here, and I know that your hands are more than ready to craft diplomas. Each of you came to this institution with a unique background, a story that is only yours to tell. Collectively, the class of 2025 represents all corners of Georgia, all regions of the United States, and nations as far away as India. Yet, what brings us together is the education that we have received at this unique institution in the heartland of Georgia, an education centered in the liberal arts. I'm often asked in day-to-day conversations just how this education sets our students apart from those who receive degrees at other institutions. The liberal arts is a concept that, rather intentionally, is extremely difficult to define. Albert Einstein perhaps put it best when he said that the value of an education in a liberal arts college is not the learning of many facts, but it's the training of the mind to think things that cannot be learned from books. In other words, our education was not solely about memorizing facts or knowing a lot of things. That's important. But the real thrust of a liberal arts education is to make not merely graduates, but citizens, free-thinking individuals in a free society. People who can act not simply for personal interest, but lead for the public good. Whether it was through internships in Washington, D.C., participating in psychology research labs, presenting at conferences, studying government at the European Parliament in Strasbourg, or learning to think critically through our GC 1Y and 2Y classes. All of us were taught to lead. In fields as disparate as mass communications and mathematics, English and environmental science, physics and philosophy, each of us received an education that taught us that the point of knowledge is not for it to be left in a classroom or a laboratory, or used simply to sound interesting at parties. Rather, it is meant to be carried everywhere we go and used to benefit all those we can. This knowledge brings with it a great responsibility, not only to ourselves, but to our families, our communities, and our entire nation. I know that right now, the world can so frequently seem full of strife, chaos, and division. So often, people have a tendency to throw up their hands, deciding that the problems that we face are simply unsolvable. Yet what defines a Georgia college graduate is that when confronted with that old accident, things have always been that way. We don't sit back and accept a lack of change. We understand that in a free nation, the power to create the type of society we want to live in is not held by a select few. Rather, it is held by each person in this room. As we are sent forth from this institution into the broader world, it is our responsibility to begin to use the education that we receive to create the kind of world we want to live in, to accomplish the feat of making the impossible possible. At this point, it is difficult to know what the world will hold for us in an all too fastly approaching future. But what I do know is that with 408 more Georgia College graduates coming into it, our world will be made a better place. Thank you to the class of 2025 for allowing me to represent you one last time, and congratulations to Bobcat Nation.